So there you.
So
Okay,
here we
we'll
are
have to
again.
proceed, Sarah.
Here we are again.
um, Here we are, and
I don't know if
it
this will go
is
public or not,
April
but yeah.
2020, and we're having a discussion about the 70s
Well, the
and
60s
the
and 70s. Anyway, I've
60s.
been sharing music with Sarah here because I've been inspired to listen to some like 60s and 70s music here recently, and we're talking about the aspects of why I would even want that. Why do I does my is there something in the music that my soul was like wanting, and we were just casually chatting that back and forth, and come to a realization that back in that time they were so into the expansion of the energy. So they were so driven, they were so wise, actually, some of them, that they were presenting their expansions right in front of everybody, right under their noses, and not telling them. And that wisdom that was being shared then is a wisdom that we could really use now, you know.
Yes, Dan had played a song from the Fifth Dimension.
Yeah, there was a music group. It was five people put together, and their name was the Fifth Dimension, and they're in the late '60s. And we're talking about, that wasn't done willy nilly. They'd actually arranged that. They just weren't all playing checkers one day and decided, oh, let's be a music group and call ourselves the Fifth Dimension. They actually knew what they were doing. They were putting songs out that had a message in there. And Sarah said, yeah, the music back then was really music. It was transcendental. It wasn't like the techno weirdness that we have today, where they're just trying to expand the uh, the devices to see how many weird sounds they can get, and see what they can manipulate. They were actually trying to send a message across, that the
Yeah,
messages
they
from that kind of
real
music were more
instruments.
powerful than now.
Yeah, they used real instruments that we have, and those instruments put off a vibration because they were already putting off a vibrational understanding of who they truly were, even if it was subconscious or conscious. It was just a beautiful cacophony of sound, and they knew how to bring it in. Wherein, when you listen to the music, it brings you into a higher vibrational field of understanding of who you are. And that's not an easy thing, especially in today's world where the music is very, what's the word for it?
Well, it's not that you can't find
Not
things to
just
resonate
technical.
with in the newer music. There are things to
It,
find to resonate with, but I think they were
no,
more
there are things
resonant.
that resonate with the newer music. It's
Yeah,
just some things are very, what's the term? Synthetic.
yeah.
And it's not the true vibration of a instrumental sound. And some of the music that they were using back then as well was harmonically, vibrationally, uh, you know how they say 432 is the vibration of love?
Hmm.
They were harmonically fixed to the correct vibration of harmony instead of the disharmonic frequencies of 440.
Yeah,
So it's interesting how, the what we call the hippies who created music decided to change the frequencies of their instruments so that you can feel something. No matter what the song was, you knew it was different. You just knew it felt good. It
it was groovy, man.
was groovy, right? And the song he played was Up and Away, My Beautiful Balloon. But the harmonies they put together for that song, you heard so many different instruments, and it opens up your heart. I said, wow, somebody knew what they were doing back then. You know?
Yeah, yeah, they did, and they were taking advantage of the old sacred tones, because
Yeah.
the tones are very important. The tones emitted an energy that triggered things, and that's one of the things that we've lost here lately. Well, lately it's been hidden, is how important sound is for us. That the people that
Hmm.
do know, they actually manipulate the sounds, they manipulate the musicians, they manipulate all the stuff for their whatever end game is. But if you were to listen to music that was attuned, and resonant to you, you would have a completely different experience.
Hmm.
And this is why the tonings, and like a lot of people are really resonating with like the singing bowl idea and some of these other things. There's healing tones and other tonings.
Because they're all natural sounds.
Yeah, and that you can naturally resonate with. So the device of the human body emitting sounds that do things for other bodies. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
another one of our physical technologies.
Physical technology. Yeah. Tones and sounds and things. I get told a lot about my voice. Oh, Dan, you got this voice. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. What do I do with it? So I get talking, you know,
Yeah,
it,
I
it
get told
likes
about my
talking.
voice as well.
Yeah. You get toning. You get
Well, I
toning
get
sometimes.
Tony, and everybody stops and stares like, "What is that?"
Yeah, they look at. I know. I've seen them look at you like you got three heads. I said, no, she just got one head. There's just like a couple of voices in there.
And then they all tell me, "I feel something." I say, "What do you feel?" Well,
Stop.
I went into trance and
All
I saw
right.
pictures.
All right.
And I said, "Okay, I released this emotion." Okay.
Yeah, that's about all you can say. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you did that. Good for you. Oh, you had an experience. Great. What?
I
You
have no
tuned the
more pain.
chakra. You tuned the chakra. You forgot you had. That's awesome. It happens though. Oh,
We
you did
love it.
something. You know. So it's been now. Right now, it just hit me that it's not surprising we're having a vibrational conversation the way this day started for you, because
Yeah.
Sarah's got her new headset on,
Oh,
and she's not worn a headset. She's not used to wearing a headset, so she hadn't acclimated to the magnetics of the headset. And so when she put those magnets on her head, she just like
I'm like, wow, 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 wow.
went bonkers. And it's like, no, hold on. So
What's happening?
I had to
No,
keep her
because
grounded,
I can
keep her
literally
grounded so
feel.
she could just acclimate to the new energy, so she didn't like blast off into space or something.
I can literally feel my energetic field trying to understand what these magnetics were.
Yeah, you had
Like
to
I felt the
incorporate.
spinning of my own magnetic field
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
when I put on these headphones, and I'm like, "What's going on? What's going
Yeah,
on?"
can't focus my eyes. I can't.
It's
What's this? So no,
combobulated
no,
in
hang on.
the
Don't freak out. Just hold on a minute. Just slow it down. It's got to
moment.
acclimate.
I've never had that experience before.
Yeah.
Just putting on
See?
headphones.
Yeah. Say, well, they're 40 millimeter magnets. You're not used to this. Hold on a minute. It's going to be bumpy for a second. And it was.
Yeah,
It was.
I thought I just had to put them on and just be fine.
No,
That's what I'm used
no.
to, like
You
just
actually
feeling
had to be reminded that this device on your head is actually pretty earthy. So you got the earth magnets in there. You got all the materials the speakers are made out of. That's all metal from Earth. The wire is made out of metal from Earth. The plastic is made out of products from Earth. So even though it's an electronic device, um, I don't know who that is. Yeah, it's still mostly from Earth. Even the wire, even the coating, and the material on the wires,
like
all
my body is
earthy.
still acclimating to this. Like seriously.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
going to take
didn't
some
know it
getting
would
used
be a
to.
situation just putting on earphones.
Yeah.
But it just shows us how much magnets and electromagnetics have to do with our bodies and how it affects our bodies because I had never experienced this before. But when I had earphones before, like maybe 2014, I wasn't so sensitive to the electromagnetic field of things. So now that anything that comes into contact with me, I can feel the energy of it. And then magnets have their own electromagnetic fields. And so I could feel the energy of that. And so I had to get used to that
Yeah.
sort of
Get
new
used to all of it.
energy coming in contact with my energy. So
Yeah. Yeah. I knew it'd take a while. I didn't know it was going to
it's
take 10
strange
minutes,
when
but
you're that sensitive.
so yeah, just hold on. Just hold
I
on.
was just like,
Take it easy.
whoa.
What is all this? Hey, hang on. Just take it easy.
Yeah, so that's a new experience for me.
So anyway, so
uh,
it's
yeah,
just been
but
a
going back to the sound
casual
of
chat
things.
about vibration. Yeah.
Yeah, the sounds of things are so important. I mean, you just notice all the sounds that occurs around your space in your own home. How many sounds do you hear? I
Well,
mean,
it's
what
been
are the
amazing
sounds
here.
outside?
It's been amazing lately because of the shutdown and everything that I'm noticing that the silence, there's a silence now. It used to be a constant hum of traffic outside my window because there's a highway
Yeah,
not too far from here, a couple blocks away, and but still just a constant hum of traffic. It just a constant hum of all the engines hum. And it's like, wow, what if that were to stop? And there's like, oh, now there's silence there. And then that got me thinking. I was actually thinking that this morning as well.
yeah,
It says, oh, isn't it odd how anytime something happens, even a catastrophe, even a disaster, that afterwards, how the silence comes in and fills the space, that there's this silence that comes. You think, oh, you have a huge
mm,
snowstorm and then there's a silence, or, it's like, I, I survived a tornado once. And after that, well, once it finally stopped raining, there was just an eerie silence. And it's neat how the silence just always comes. There's silence comes and fills the space. And that silence offers itself to everybody there. And so, oh, we often forget how important silence is. So every time
because it's
like
its
we
own music.
experiment, or not, every time we experience calamity, that one of the things that really gets us through it is tuning back into the silence. Like the silence, there's a great amount of well-being in the silence if you just let it.
Yes.
And that wisdom is something that even though it's right in front of us, and even though everybody notices it, they don't like take notice. Taking notice of what's really going on. So, oh, look at all this devastation. Say, yeah, but listen to that silence. Like, whoa. You're like, whoa, oh, it's just silence. They know, oh, silence is bad because it means all that stuff happens. So, well, no, silence is serving a purpose you're not quite comprehending. And silence is really, really helpful. And it's like, oh, and then it turns into a topic about, hey, everybody should meditate. Everybody should go find their silence, right? And even if they don't know how to meditate, if they will just go soak in their own existence for a little while. There used to be a negative thing. People used to tell people to go soak their head. Yeah, go soak your head, but yeah, go soak in your existence. That would be the thing to do. Yeah, go do
Soak
that.
into existence.
Go soak into
Yeah.
your own existence, not anybody else's. Don't go try to be a frog or anything. Don't go try to be a thing. Just go sit and be yourself for a minute and just see how you are in the silence and go, oh,
Yeah.
this isn't hard. It's another thing that everybody has gotten away from that they could stand to get back into again. like I said, this whole shutdown thing has offered a lot of interesting reflections to a lot of people. They find out that they're inherently lazy. We all are, you know. We find out it's true because everybody says, "Oh man, if I ever had the time, I'm going to clean this house." And then, is anybody cleaning their house? Oh hell no, they're all doing other stuff.
No, actually, people have started cleaning house.
Some people
Yeah, so
have,
you see a lot of
yeah, but
trash on the
only out of
side of the
boredom. They'd have never done it if they hadn't have been home. Not that there's not
people
anything
have
to that
started
whole feng
cleaning house.
shui thing, but yeah,
Yeah, but it's interesting the silence. I want to
the
talk about the
silence is
silence
it's
because
interesting where you
through
see
silence,
even after a great eruption, there'd be a great volcanic eruption, and then after the eruption, just that strange silence. It's like
but you know what you hear instead?
you'll hear whatever is the nature there,
Yes,
the nature
yes,
flexing, it's doing its thing. And yeah,
yeah.
really, really interesting just to dwell on that stuff. Even, yeah, just if you
Because
want,
nature
go soak in your own
itself is
existence
actually,
and dwell on silence. Yeah, and then all the great meditators, they all say, yeah, just follow your breath. And if thoughts come up in the trains, then just go back and just focus on your breath again. It's really, and meditation doesn't have to be hard at all. It's no different than zoning out or daydreaming or anything else. It's just, and the ones who, oh, I keep falling
yeah,
asleep, I
but
keep falling asleep.
listen, listen, listen.
Yeah, yeah,
Nature is actually playing its own music.
yeah.
And they've discovered this scientifically. It's called, they called it the plant concerts. And if you stick an electrode to a plant, apparently you will hear the most beautiful
Oh
music
yeah, yeah. I think I
really
saw a couple of
fast.
videos about that a couple of years ago. Yeah,
Yes. And so nature is actually playing the music that we can't
they're
hear
talking
because of
to
all
each
the
other.
noise of the atmosphere when we have the cars, when we have this loud sounds of lights and all of that. But when we come into this silence after some sort of change of nature, like you said, a storm or snowfall or things of that nature, and the silence come, it's easier to connect to the frequencies of that silence, and it brings you automatically into your own silence.
Yeah, yeah. If you listen to
So
it.
their playing of the frequencies would bring you deeper within yourself.
Yeah,
That's why more people feel connected to what we call God or source when they go out into nature and all of
yeah.
the
Go out into nature. They
silence.
go on these nature hikes, or they go to these overlooks or sacred places or interesting places, scenic
Yes.
places. Yeah,
And you would think they're listening to silence, but they're actually listening to
that concert of plants or
that
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
concert of nature itself.
And then while you were saying that, I was reminded of the Blue Avatar movie, where they have that mother tree that's connected to all the other stuff, all the
Yeah,
plants talking to one another. Everybody's all in
yeah,
concert with one another. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So to get a refresher of that
And they
idea.
said
Yeah,
it's easier to be still and hear what's being said in the silence than it
yeah,
is to be moving about all the time.
right. Well, that's another aspect about
And
meditation
I'm
that
talking
they
about from
teach too.
spirit or source or
Yeah,
God, whatever you
that if you
define.
don't practice silence, then you'll never be able to hear the inspired thoughts that come to you that guide you to your stuff. Because if you
Yes,
can't tell
because
the
first they
difference
come to a
between what you're,
whisper.
yeah, if you can't tell the difference between your own inner dialogue and that guidance, you're always going to think it's something else or you'll disregard it. So there's a lot of
Yes,
people that don't follow their guidance because they're just not used to hearing it, you
they're not
know.
still enough to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, they stay in calamity instead of calm.
So this is a wonderful opportunity, truly,
Yeah.
because we can become still within ourselves. We have nowhere to go. We're stuck in the house
Yeah. You're
because
stuck in
of the
yourself. What are you going to do? I've done everything except what I said I was going to do. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
This is a
it's been an
perfect
interesting
time.
journey for everybody. Yeah.
This is the perfect time to listen to the inner music, the silence, the the silence of who you are, to listen to that whisper of knowledge that's coming through you. Uh, it's always wonderful. Like this morning, I woke up and I was like, oh, this is a great day. And then I laid back down and I began to feel the energies all around me and listening to the inner voice, following inner like tag alongs, tag
Yeah,
this thought, tag this thought, tag this thought.
yeah, yeah,
And each thought carried a wave of energy or a wave of information that led me to the next thought, the next thought, the next thought. And before I knew it, I could feel my entire body tingling up and down and energy moving out and in, pulsating. And that's how it goes because I was able to stay still and silent
yeah,
with myself and enjoy it. I
yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed that. And for me, it's so easy to get into it now that like I barely call it a meditation anymore, even though that's what it is.
yeah, yeah.
It's like natural. It's like I close my eyes, bang, I'm in. But it took time to get this way. It takes time. It takes
It
constant
does take a little bit
practice.
of a entrainment or practice or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to start to do it in order to do it. You have to start it.
exactly.
You can't
It's,
just
it's like
have
practicing
nothing
your
and
muscles.
go. It doesn't it requires just a little bit more than that. It requires a little bit of commitment
Well,
because
you don't know
it's
that you're committing to it at first. You just
no, no.
is.
But if you do, and that's what I tell people, if you do, you'll find it's worth it.
Yeah.
There's a huge payoff if you just relax, just shut up already, right? And
Listen to the silence. It has a
just
lot of
yes.
music in there.
But all I can hear is the voice in my own head. Well, whose voice is it? It's my voice, and tell it to shut up so you can hear the other. Yeah, hear the others. Yeah, tune into the silence instead of tuning into the rest of it there.
Yeah, because it starts with this thin line of a whisper at first. It's so thin. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
barely there. It's barely there. And in order to hear it, you have to be still. So I learned a lot at the beginning stages. At the beginning stages, you have to, that's what they tell you, sit down, cross your legs, meditate. But if you can find other ways of getting there,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
good too. Right.
yeah. Or lay down if you
And
don't do
some
the
people
cross.
may take
If you
a
don't do the
pause
cross leg thing, you can
or
do the
lay
lay
down.
down thing. Yeah.
You can lay down. Yeah. You can do it however you wish. You can wash the dishes.
Usually anything is anything that keeps your spine kind of straightish, is fine, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
So
might not
it's,
necessarily, so if you're laying down, you might not necessarily have to be laying on your back. You could be laying on your side as long as your back is kind of straight. So it's not very strict, not a strict thing at all, really.
no, no, it's not. So
Not
that,
like some have said, oh, you got to do this and you got to drink wheatgrass and you got to do this and you have to stand on your head and you have to talk to toads. It's not like that at all.
no, I just saw a video today and somebody said, make this smoothie in order to connect to your higher selves and add all these ingredients in it, and that way you can ground it and pull down information or connect to your other selves. And I'm thinking to myself, I've never done that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking to myself,
Just that these
I
need to,
connect all the time and I don't do any of that.
yeah. So these are only suggestions and they only worked for me. They might not work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you follow your own inner guidance with this. Like you follow what's making you happy, number one. Number two, where the guidance is showing you to move toward.
Yeah.
So you follow those inner instincts, those thoughts that sometimes you think are yours, but
Yeah, but if you don't get
deep
quiet
down
enough to ever hear
you're
that,
like,
then you
no,
never
that's
get
not
there. Yeah.
yours. Yeah, but it just takes building that muscle. It takes
Yeah.
it's because you get a little bit at a time. You integrate the information, and then you can receive more.
Well,
Like
that
so
would
when
be the
some
important thing to say right there. You're not doing it to try to do something. You're just doing it because it's nice to relax and just sit still. You're not doing it for an achievement. You're just doing it because it feels good. So anyway, all that happened. All this happened because Sarah put on a headset today.
oh, I missed all that because the internet went off for a second.
I said all of this has happened because Sarah put on a headset today. So this is the conversation that all got sparked up because Sarah put on a headset today. It just yeah, this is conversations with Sarah, and this is how it happens.
This is how it happens. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be so something so like you got to write it
We're
down
not
and
trying, yeah,
figure it
nothing
out.
scripted. It all
It's
it
this
just
is not
flipping
scripted at
happens.
all.
Yeah, I don't think a script can be written for this stuff.
No,
Uh,
well, information can be gleaned from it.
yes,
Uh,
yeah, that can
there's
happen.
information of how to connect to myself, and when I do, what do I do with it?
Yeah,
You
well,
listen,
enjoy it.
you pay
Basically, you
attention,
just
you
enjoy
enjoy
it.
it, you feel
Yeah,
into it. Like I could just close my eyes right now and I'll get a big old happy smile on my face because I can feel the energy, and it's the energy of love and vibration, and it's just like, wow, this feels good. I can automatically connect to my some people like to call it auric field, some people like to call it magnetic field.
yeah. Well, both
It's
kind of
really nice when you
suffice.
do that just in an instant.
Yeah, yeah,
In an instant you're there. But it's it's nice to get there in an easy fashion. When I started, it was a little difficult to get there, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
So
That's it. But if you'll just commit to being happy in your space,
that's true.
that's pretty much all you got to do. Just be
Yeah,
happy in your
be
space.
happy.
And there
That's
might
all
be
I gotta do.
those that would balk
Smile.
about that. Oh, I can't get happy in this space. This space is whack. Well, as long as you're, you know, dishing out pouring energies to the space you have, then you're not going to have a great sit. You know, it's just if you keep telling the energy that it's crap, then it'll be crap for you. You gotta allow it to calm
Well, let's
down.
do
And
what you did today. You turned on some 70s music,
yeah,
some
just it
60s
was
and
it wanted
70s
some it
music.
wanted some music from it wanted some music that didn't have any agenda per se stuck to it, or at least no current agenda stuck. It just wanted to be free music, and that's what
Yeah.
I was guided to. So that's what popped up. So just I don't know. I just started kind of hearing the harmonies in my head a little bit. And I'm going, oh, I remember that tune. Oh, what was that? And it'd take me a couple of days to remember what the song was. And then I'd go look it up and I find it on YouTube or somewhere and go, oh, yeah, there's that song. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what the lyrics were. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, the harmonies are neat. I'm just sitting and
Well, you
enjoy
gotta
it.
wonder what they were feeling and thinking during that time to even like one know to call themselves fifth dimensional. Like, who
That
were
particular
they?
group,
What
yeah,
were
but there
they?
were other groups too that were doing stuff that
Yeah,
tying
like
connected
Age
themselves
of
to things.
Aquarius.
Yeah,
Somebody knew something was going to
yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah. They weren't in the dark per se.
No,
They come
and
out of
now
the
we're
dark,
moving
and then
into
wanted others out of the dark,
we're
and
in
said,
the
"Hey,
age.
we can do
Yeah,
this song for them and bring people out of the dark." Yeah, okay, so that's what
yeah,
they did.
coming out of the dark. I remember that
Yeah,
song. I remember.
well, I didn't know I was referring to a song. There's a song.
No, there is an actual song coming
Oh,
out of the
okay.
dark.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we're
So
in
it's
the age of
still,
Aquarius.
yeah.
We're we're in the fifth dimension. Well, some of us.
Well, we're in the lobby. We're in the lobby of the fifth, and you can tell. You can tell we're in the lobby of the fifth because the energy is expanding and the time is compressing. So we're experiencing more things in less time. At the same time,
Yeah,
we're able to manifest quicker. So
yeah.
you kind of have these weird thoughts, and then like really, literally, like the next day they could be manifesting. So we're in a lot lighter energy than say we have been in the past. We're in a lot lighter density than we have been in the past. Even though there's a lot of
Mhm.
contrast going on and there's a lot of contrast available, and there's an awful lot of energies working themselves in and around, it's still pretty light in places if you will focus on the light bits. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember what I told you, Dan, about my dream the other day? How I lived a week
You lived a week in
along
a
with
dream. Yeah.
cycles in the dream, but when I woke up from the dream, it was only 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's how fast our world is moving. We're doing a whole lot in our dreams now that our bodies are trying to catch up to
Yeah, yeah. Well,
this
yeah, you
new
did that. You had a dream where you dreamed you were somewhere else for a
faster
week,
movement
and
event.
then you slept the whole day. You slept the
Yeah,
whole day away.
the whole day because my body's trying to catch up to the
Yeah,
world I've
well,
actually experienced. Like literally, I remember everything there and I experienced everything there. And it was a full week of information. And my body said, "What's going on?"
yeah. I better take a nap
I
and
need to
just
sleep for
incorporate
my
all this stuff.
dream.
Yeah, yeah. All right. It's been all pretty neat, but let's pause this quick recording, I guess, and
Well, thank you. Let's
yeah,
just say goodbye
yeah.
correctly.
And I don't know if this will be made public. It might be made public. I don't know. Just
It
there's a
will.
lot of good
It's
information in it, but
okay.
I'll up it to you and you can do it and we'll sort that out anyway. Bye everybody that listens to this
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
craziness
And
here that we
find
got
us on
going on.
Conversations with Sarah
Yeah, thanks for sharing
or
our weirdness.
youroxide.com. You can get a session from the website and let me know. If you have any questions or comments, you can post on our YouTube or Facebook pages.
Yeah, and if you'd like to
Um,
join us in our
and
oddballness, just
you'd like
yeah,
to join us here to talk about all things
yeah,
multidimensional.
yeah. You got a weird dream you want to talk about? Yeah. You got
You
some
can come to
energies you
us.
just learned about. You got some soul searching, something you just put together, a wisdom you just remembered.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the kind of quirky
this is the
stuff.
place to have those types of discussions. If you
Yeah,
really have something on your heart and you want to discuss it with someone,
yeah.
but there's
I can't
something
talk to anybody about this stuff. Yeah, you can. We're over here. You can find us.
come to us.
Yeah, we're over here.
So,
Yeah.
a blessing before we go.
Oh, you want to do a blessing? All right, do a blessing.
I'm gonna do a blessing.
Do a light
Okay,
language toning
light
thing.
language blessing.
All right.
So let's see who wants
Whoever
to go.
comes.
Sakarat und in arask tak 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 arot kotorsk arot gratsk isk iro protsk arat arfut or atakets gratsk it kotak atsk an uch de arat Ach arat in girot ani chkot isk tutuk atanirot orot. Namaste.
Wow. Namaste. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. And we love you. We love you. We love you.